Welcome to Alexander Hamilton Memorial Free Library's Preserving the Harvest program this morning. Today we will be canning tomato juice. This was one of the first things that I learned to can. If you are not familiar with water bath canning, you will want to go back to the first video in this series and review the information. If you do not grow your own tomatoes in your garden, you can purchase them at a farmer's market or vegetable stand. You will want to choose tomatoes that are ripe but firm. You will also want to be sure that they are mostly free of bad spots or blemishes. Wash your tomatoes well and remove the stems. Cut out any bad spots and then half or quarter your tomatoes. Place them in a stainless or non-reactive pot. Mash the tomatoes a little with your hands to release some of the juice. This allows you to heat your tomatoes and cook without adding any additional water. Place your tomatoes on the stove and bring to a boil. I usually let the tomatoes boil for 10 to 15 minutes. Run your tomatoes through a tomato juicer or food mill to separate the seeds and skins from the tomato. There are several types of juicers on the market that can be used. Today I am using the food mill that is highlighted in red. The food mill that you decide to use should be made of a non-reactive metal such as stainless. You need to select the non-reactive pots and food mills to avoid tomatoes becoming bitter due to the leaching of the metal into the acidic tomato product. For this particular food mill that we're using, you simply dip a cup of the tomato mixture from the pot and pour it into the food mill, and you turn the crank until all of the juice has been removed from the seeds and the skin. Return the juice to your pot and set on the stove to boil again. I normally allow my tomato juice to boil 15 to 30 minutes to remove some of the water so that the juice is a little thicker. While the tomato juice is boiling, prepare your jars and assemble your jar rings and flats. For my juice today, I am using quart jars and adding 2 tablespoons lemon juice, 1 teaspoon salt, 1/2 teaspoon onion salt, and 1/4 teaspoon celery salt to each jar. After you have added your salts and the lemon juice to your quart jars, fill the jar with the hot tomato juice to about 1/2 inch from the top of the jar. Add your jar flats and ring to each jar, making sure that you tighten the rings very tight. We are using the hot bath canning method today, so place several inches of hot water in the bottom of your canner, add the jars to the pot, cover the jars completely with hot water and bring to a boil. Processing time for the juice is 35 minutes for pints and 40 minutes for quarts. That means you must bring the water to a full boil and then start your processing time. Once your processing time is complete, remove the jars from the canner to the counter to cool. Once cool, the juice can be moved to your storage shelves. Thank you for joining us for today's Preserving the Harvest program. We hope that you too will try making your own tomato juice at home. If you do, let us know how it goes. We invite you to join us for next week's program when we will be bringing something in from the garden to preserve.